Jim Leyland joining us here as a guest on Ford and O'Brien, ESPN Evansville 105.3. Jim Leyland, a former manager of the Evansville Triplets, a team that we talked about throughout the day today. A team that I remember as a kid growing up, coming to a few ball games, seeing. Jim obviously has gone on from that career as the Triplets manager to a World Series winning manager. And how long has it been since you've come back to see this place?
I think 35 years.
Has it been that long?
It's been that long.
And thoughts on what it looks like now compared to what it looked like then?
Well, it's the field's better.
Mm-hmm.
There's no question about that. But I always said Bosse Field was like an old shoe. It wasn't the prettiest, but it was the most comfortable. And it was a great place.
And how much time did you spend with the Triplets?
I was here 3 years.
3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then
3 years, won the championship, and took them to, if I remember correctly, you had a title and a divisional championship in 3 years.
We did.
That's not bad, is it?
No, that's doing all right. I think that's the reason he got to move on to the majors and get to
win
coach
a World Series.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now, Jack McKeon was here earlier, and he had some big old rings on his finger. Do I see any jewelry?
I didn't really bring mine.
Yeah?
I have a few of them, but I didn't bring them today.
Now, he didn't bring his World Series ring. He said he leaves that at home in the safe, but he had some All-Star
rings. Some Hall of Fame rings. Yeah. From North Carolina, I believe, and the other one from Jersey, I think it was.
Are you surprised that this place has withstood the test of time?
No, not really. Every time I think of this, like I say, you have memories. I think League of His Own put this on the map a little bit more.
Yeah, sure.
I think it helped. The other thing is I remember in the movie Field of Dreams, they talk about baseball being a constant, and that's what I think about when I see Bosse Field.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a constant. It's been here. It's going to be here. And it's a wonderful place. It's like any other place. It's the people that make it great, and they made it great when I was here.
Now, go ahead,
Jimmy. The funny thing, and I got to say it, when you were here, I was a teenager, 79. I was, I think, 13, 14. And I'll be honest with you, I'd come out and watch Triplets a little bit, and I always thought, I'm a rambunctious, rebellious teenager. I thought, man, that Coach Leyland, he's kind of out there, isn't he? I mean, he's angry all the time. He's kicking dirt around. I said, if I ever got the chance, I think I'd tell that guy to mellow out. Now I got a chance. Don't change a thing, buddy. Don't change a thing. I think it worked for you.
I appreciate that.
You've obviously been at ballparks all across this country, including the only two that are older than this establishment, Fenway and Wrigley, over the course of your career. In this day and age of, you look at a place like, your former team, the Marlins Stadium down there. It's almost $1 billion stadium, and you look at some of the stadiums that are around with everything's high-def video and all that stuff, and you don't have that here, but it doesn't feel like this place needs that kind of stuff.
No, I don't think so. I think this is the epitome of the minor leagues. I think this is what you think about when you're a kid and you get on a bus and you pull into a parking lot, and here's where we're playing tonight, and you look at it and you look at the brick outside, and it's a nice field, and maybe a couple thousand people. I think that's kind of what you expect when you're a minor leaguer. And, you're here 2 or 3 days and on the bus. I played here as a player in 1968 when I was with the Montgomery Rebels. So, like I said, this is what the minor leagues is all about. It doesn't get any better than this.
And, I mean, obviously to move up and play in the major leagues, and for you to manage in the major leagues as well, is it almost to some degree a little nicer? Is it more of a, like I think of when I go to, say, a concert of some sort. You can go to the stadium show and be there with 20,000 other people, but sometimes it's nice to go to the little club shows where it's you and maybe there's 500 people in there, and that's got its own special thing to it. Is it the same with baseball to some degree?
I don't think there's any question about it. I couldn't wait to come back. I think it's very important to remember where you came from, and this was a big stepping stone. Evansville was the final straw for me getting a chance to go to the big leagues. I went as Tony La Russa's coach, obviously, to start with, but later on got a manager's job. But I went back to Clinton, Iowa last year. It's an A-ball town. I managed there 3 years. They had to turn back the clock night. I went back. I think it's important to go back to your roots and let people know how much you appreciated the time that you were here and what a stepping stone it was for my career.
Well, times change, and everything's corporate. AAA ball clubs, AA even, it's all the corporate suites, and it's all the making the big dogs feel big. Is Evansville, I mean, you've been around baseball your whole life. Today, with the changes, even if Evansville made those changes, is Evansville a AAA town?
Probably
now?
not.
That's what I thought too.
Probably not, but it'd certainly be a nice A-ball town.
Yeah,
it'd be a great place. I mean, it's just a wonderful place. You know, it's small enough, yet big enough, and it's it's not one of those intimidating towns. I think it'd be a great place. I can't believe they don't have an A-ball team in some league.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously we were in AAA, but there's a lot of A-ball teams not too far from this area, really, playing. And it's just a shame, but I guess this is working for them.
Yeah, the Otters have a great following here.
Doing good,
yeah, they're doing well. They had a great season last year, most wins in franchise history. They came a little short, losing the one and only. They made it to the playoffs, so it was a one-game kind of playoff for them, much like a wild card. Weren't able to get past that part of it, but there's been it's been a tremendous following here. And again, I know you've got other commitments. They're kind of leading you around. Jim Leyland, our guest, World Series winning manager, former manager for the Evansville Triplets, as a fan comes up to get an autograph.
Multitasking.
That's right, he's multitasking.
That's why we're going to let him get out of here.
Yeah.
He's obviously he's got some other engagements, and I don't have a pen laying around here. I think this pen's not going to write. Did it work for you? Okay. Well, we will.
We've got that.
We'll let you go, Coach.
All right.
We greatly appreciate your time,
No problem.
and we'll gives good meeting you.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me.
It was quite a pleasure. Thank you so much, sir.